All right, I'm working on scene 13 now for my next short film, tentatively titled Poison Dino 5. This is scene 12, the one that's leading into it. Two characters are coming from opposite corners towards each other, and we're going to have our green lizard queen character go from ha. Just a few drawings, most likely 4 drawings, keeping it very simple. Gonna have some overlap on the hair and whatnot potentially, but yeah, let's just see what the animatic's looking like. That's it, the hi-ya shot. So very fast. We're gonna arrive here. So we're literally talking about 20 frames here, 21 frames. This shot is very short. So I have the 2 poses there for my animatic. Lots of contrast, reversal of line of action. We're going to have the one sword that's way far away coming right towards the screen up to the top corner there. Let's see what I got so far. Working here in TV Paint. And this was my first shot, or first pose in the scene. Already got that cleaned up and colored. Now, I might have mentioned before just about how my time management is. I budget 300 hours for the entire short, and I'm up around 170 already, and it's just, this short could easily expand to be 500 hours. I don't want that. So I'm starting to do more rough drawings, and I'm just going to keep them rough. I'm just going to paint them rough. I'm not going to spend the time cleaning them up. Like a drawing like this, you know, I'm happy with it, but it takes more than an hour to rough this out, draw this, and clean it up. So I'm going to end up more like drawings, going to end up with more drawings like this. And this looks great. I'm really happy with this, but you know, it would take me an extra 20 minutes plus to clean this up. So that's as far as we're going to go. I'm working on this one here. Just basically get my rough pencil tool. You can see, I mean, I've got all my construction lines still here. I'm just not going to bother cleaning them up. I'll just add to those. Do it darker on top of them so I know which lines I want to be painting. And clean, clean, clean. Not clean. I should be more clear. I'm not cleaning these lines up. I'm darkening them up. I'm picking out of the rough lines which lines I would end up with if I was doing this to clean. But it's going to give me the same effect. I've done a couple tests with this in different shots. And it looks fine. I mean, even though you see the rough construction lines, I actually think I might like that better in a lot of cases, because I have no qualms about showing the behind the scenes and saying, hey, this is how this was constructed, and knowing that I've got there's educational value in this here. Plus, I mean, look at these lines here on the shoulder. Like, that just looks nice. You know, I mean, there's this little eraser line here that's, you know, kind of eh. But once it's all painted, not really going to worry about that. Not really going to see it. The story impact will be almost 100%. The art quality, you know, it's maybe 80%. But like I say, the behind the scenes, the construction of the project has value, I think, and that's part of creating a short film. It's indulgent, but it's also hoping to create value for the viewer. And once I've done these rough lines, it's so much faster and easier to pick out some of the main lines of action and lines that I want to emphasize. Okay, so something like that's looking pretty good. Great. I got this little bit of hair up here. And once I have this done, you know what? I don't think I'm going to paint this before I start roughing the other ones. I'm just going to keep this rough. I'll just be going between these two, flipping like this. And let me finish this arm here. Not thrilled with this thumb. Fortunately, as part of the design, there are these joint lines on the fingers, and those just kind of help sell what's going on with each finger bend. It just aids in the drawing to have those construction lines visible. And again, I'm not, if it's a really egregious line like this one here that I'm not liking, I'll go to my eraser. Otherwise, I'm just going to try and keep it as rough as I can. And I want the thickness to be somewhat consistent. So if there's a line it's a nice line, it's a descriptive line, it's in the right place, but it's not dark enough, I'll just add some more to it, like this line here. It's a good line, it's right where I want it to be, but compared to the surrounding lines, it wasn't dark enough. Something like this, I'll just clean that up. And let's just get something going on with this foreshortened arm here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, 60 seconds max. Get my perspective going on in there, and maybe I'll have a bit more detail here, sure, why not, yep. And when that's painted, that'll make more sense. A bit of an extra construction line here to show the depth, and let's really push that perspective there. Here we've got the shoulder covering. I think that, and I'm going to make this smaller because I do not like how big my eraser is right now. There we go, that's better. You know what, I'm going to erase all that anyway. Yeah, this will be the shoulder pad here. Again, once that's painted, that should make more sense. And let's just follow through these lines here. Very nice, very nice. All right, great. These lines here I could stand to work on a little bit. Just add a bit more. It's not exactly adding detail. It's just adding surety to the line. And this sword over here is pretty darn rough right now, and there was an eraser line there that was very sharp edged. Nothing too fancy with the sword. I might even just keep it in profile, but nah, let's add a little depth to it there. This here, I'm not liking that. Let's just fill in that. That hand is working well enough. Sword's a little loose. I'm going to spend 10 seconds here and just make this a little more clean, just so we can feel the silhouette value of this sword. And I don't mind if that's got a sharp edge to it, just, yeah, I mean, it's a little too on the nose right now, maybe. So you know what, let's add just a little bit of hairiness to the outside line there. Yep, good enough. Excellent. All right, and then I'll be continuing going between these poses. You can see that I've got my 4-frame cycle here with the tassels and the ribbon attached to her shoulder, the fabric that's tied there. That's all you need, just 4-frame cycle, and it's not going to go on for very long. I'm going to be holding this for maybe 10 frames out of the 21, and then I'll go and animate into these. I'll probably hold this last one for 6 frames. Maybe I'll make a cycle out of what's going on here, or maybe I'll just hold it. We'll see what happens when it's all done, if I'm feeling like I'm needing more there. And let's just move this over. Let's make that there. So, I'm going to I want this to be really sudden at the end here. So I'm going to be doing this type of timing, where my halfway point is going to be the third drawing. The second drawing is going to be slowing out from here, speeding up going into there. And that's what this drawing here is going to be. And I think that's the onion skinning I want. There was my reference for the color. Here's my cycle up here. Body. Yeah, and here's the tones. It's just 50% black. If I turn this up to 100%, you can see what happens. It's not kind of an interesting look, but actually I'm going to take 2 minutes and do a few highlights on this tones layer. Also 50%, not quite fully white. Oh, come on. That's the size I want. Yep, just some simple highlights. Top, right-hand side. Don't need anything fancy. Oh, you know what? If I need to do it on the cycle layer, that's going to be down here. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'll do that separately in a minute. That's also on the cycle layer. I'm just seeing now this line isn't thrilling on the main layer, so I'm going to adjust that. Highlight, highlight, highlight. That's working. Good. Let's go to my body fills. I think I'm going to just do it on the fills, and we'll see if I need to do it on the lines. I don't think I will. Eyedropper. Let's get to maybe 8 pixels. I gotta follow through this line here. Something like this. And then I can go in and I can erase this here. I'm gonna have to get rid of that. Oh, there's a much better way to do this. Erase, there we go, much cleaner. Good, and let's go get rid of that tone, because there shouldn't be a tone sitting in the air. That doesn't make a lick of sense. Very nice. Good. And let's just briefly do some highlights on. I gotta go get that color again. There we go. I'm just using the eye color for the highlights instead of a straight black. Good. Put that on there. Put that on there. A little bit here. A little bit here. You don't barely even see it on the tassels. Yep, that's animating well enough. I can blur these out later if I want to. It's not a huge priority for me. Maybe there, sure. Let's put one there as well. And I'm really not worried about how these flip. The actual motion is more important to me, and it's going to cover up a lot of the movement anyway. And number 1 is the same as number 5. That's why I color code these, so I can just drag that over, copy. Very nice. One more opportunity for a body highlight there. There we go. And I gotta make sure it's on the correct frame. Excellent. Let's get back to the body lines. All right, so next I'll be animating between these 2 drawings here. Red being the previous one, blue being the next one. And I've got to lighten the blue up because there's so much line mileage there with all the roughs. It's, like I say, it's a faster drawing, but there's just a lot more evident there. Very few undos. All right, we'll continue with that. All right, that's 1 hour 30. And that's the rough. So that was about 45 minutes of rough. That was that was time consuming. But I'm pretty happy with the results here. There's a cheat on the hair to the left of the head, but I don't think that's going to be noticeable with everything else that's going on. This hair here, there's a pop on this next frame. So I want to avoid that pop. I'm going to go here and do this instead. Something like that. Place this up here. Yeah, that's working well enough. Flipping through these 4 drawings to see if anything else is popping. Oh, that's feeling pretty good. The screen right silhouette, the angle of the sword, the size of the sword. It's coming towards the screen nicely. The screen left sword, having some nice rotations there. Eye direction's working pretty well. Actually, this eye could be a little bit more rounded on the first pose now, but I'll see how that looks when it's colored. Alright, overall I'm pretty happy with that. I will accompany the final version before and after here so you can see it all, but yeah, that's a nice evening of drawing in there, and coloring these won't take too long. And then this scene, once I time it all out and get this cycle going in here, the scene should be done. Alright, good times. Thanks for checking it out.